There comes a time in life when the mask slips and you see someone for who they truly are. It could be a subtle betrayal or a blatant act of harm, but in that moment, clarity arrives, and so does power. But what happens when someone with ill intent realizes that you see through them? The dynamics shift dramatically. Today, we're diving into the behaviors evil people exhibit when they know that you know. Awareness is not just a tool, it is a profound force that changes the way you navigate your life. The moment you become aware of someone's true intentions, you take the first step toward reclaiming your power. Awareness allows you to see clearly, to remove the rose-colored glasses that may have blurred your vision, and to recognize the behaviors, patterns, and motives of those around you. It's a shift that can be unsettling at first because it forces you to confront uncomfortable truths. However, it's also a gift, one that frees you from manipulation and false narratives. When you gain awareness, you no longer operate on assumptions or illusions. Instead, you begin to see people for who they truly are, not for who they pretend to be. This clarity is transformative because it strips away their ability to control you. Manipulative individuals thrive in the shadows where confusion and doubt work in their favor. They want you to question your instincts, second-guess your perceptions, and feel as though you are overreacting or imagining things. But when awareness lights the path, those shadows disappear. You realize that your intuition was never wrong, it was simply waiting for you to listen. Awareness doesn't just protect you from external harm, it strengthens you internally. It forces you to pause, reflect, and ask yourself deeper questions. What patterns am I seeing? How does this person make me feel when they're around? What do their actions reveal about their character? These are not always easy questions to face, but they are necessary. Awareness compels you to be honest with yourself, even when that honesty is painful. It challenges you to prioritize your well-being over the desire to hold on to false connections. Once you are aware, your decisions become more intentional. You begin to set boundaries that reflect your newfound clarity. You stop tolerating behaviors that drain your energy or compromise your peace. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself endlessly or seek validation from those who have already shown they are unwilling to give it. This is where the true power of awareness lies. It gives you the strength to protect your energy and value yourself enough to walk away from anything that does not align with your highest good. The beautiful thing about awareness is that it not only frees you, but also empowers you to make better choices moving forward. You begin to see red flags as they appear instead of dismissing them as minor flaws or misunderstandings. You trust yourself more deeply because you've experienced firsthand what happens when you ignore your instincts versus what happens when you honor them. Awareness sharpens your discernment, helping you to distinguish between those who uplift you and those who seek to tear you down. But awareness also comes with responsibility. It's not enough to recognize harmful behavior, you must act on that knowledge. This might mean having difficult conversations, setting firm boundaries, or even cutting ties with people who no longer serve your growth. It can be a lonely road at times because awareness often requires you to step away from the familiar and embrace the unknown. Yet this is where you find your true strength. By choosing to honor your awareness, you are choosing yourself, your peace, your growth, and your happiness. Awareness is a journey, not a destination. It's a skill that deepens with time and experience. The more you trust it, the more it will guide you toward what is right for you. And as you grow in awareness, you will find that the people and situations that once had power over you no longer do. They may try to test your resolve, but their tactics will fall flat because you've already seen through them. You've taken back your power by simply knowing the truth. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. It's the foundation upon which you build a life of integrity, resilience, and joy. When you embrace your awareness, you become unstoppable, not because you are invulnerable to challenges, but because you are equipped to face them with clarity and strength. No one can take that power from you. It is yours to claim, protect, and nurture every single day. Evil does not operate in plain sight. It thrives in subtlety, in the cracks of your certainty, and in the spaces where doubt resides. Manipulation is its primary weapon, a silent, calculated force designed to bend your perception of reality. When individuals seek to manipulate, they don't come with obvious malice. Instead, they disguise their boundaries are not just lines you draw to protect your physical or emotional space. They are an act of self-respect, a declaration of what you will and will not tolerate. They are your shield against those who seek to drain your energy, manipulate your emotions, or overstep into areas of your life where they do not belong. When you establish boundaries, you are telling the world, I value myself enough to protect my peace, my time, and my well-being. The power of boundaries lies in their ability to create clarity, both for you and for others. They define the limits of your tolerance and make it clear what is acceptable behavior in your presence. Without boundaries, people, especially those with harmful or selfish intentions, will push and test your limits, often to see how much they can take from you without resistance. They will inch closer and closer, subtly encroaching on your emotional, mental, and even physical space until you feel depleted and powerless. Boundaries stop this in its tracks. They are the invisible but powerful force that keeps you in control of your own life. The process of setting boundaries begins with self-awareness. You must first understand your own needs, values, and limits. Ask yourself, what makes me feel safe? What behaviors drain me or cause me discomfort? What do I need to thrive emotionally, mentally, and physically? Once you have this clarity, you can begin to articulate your boundaries with confidence. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about protecting yourself. They are an act of self-love, not selfishness. Enforcing boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you are used to putting others' needs before your own. People who have benefited from your lack of boundaries may resist or even retaliate when you start to assert them. They may call you difficult, selfish, or ungrateful, but this says more about them than it does about you. Their resistance is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability to respect the autonomy of others. Stand firm. Your boundaries are not negotiable, and those who truly care about you will understand and honor them. Boundaries are also an essential tool for navigating relationships. They allow you to engage with others in a healthy and balanced way without losing yourself in the process. In romantic relationships, for example, boundaries help you maintain your individuality while fostering mutual respect and understanding. In friendships, they prevent one-sided dynamics where one person constantly gives and the other constantly takes. In professional settings, they ensure that your time and skills are respected and not taken for granted. Boundaries are not a barrier to connection. They are the foundation of meaningful, respectful relationships. When you set boundaries, you send a powerful message to the world. You know your worth. You are not willing to be treated as less than you deserve. This self-assurance often inspires others to treat you with more respect and consideration. However, there will always be those who challenge your boundaries, testing whether you truly mean what you say. This is where consistency becomes critical. If you waver or allow exceptions, you risk undermining your own efforts. Hold the line, even when it's hard. Over time, your boundaries will become a natural part of how others interact with you. One of the most liberating aspects of boundaries is the freedom they bring. When you set and enforce boundaries, you no longer feel obligated to say yes to things that drain you or go along with situations that make you uncomfortable. You free yourself from the weight of people-pleasing and the anxiety of trying to meet everyone else's expectations. Instead, you focus on what truly matters to you, creating a life that reflects your values and priorities. This freedom is empowering because it puts you back in control of your own narrative. Boundaries are not static. They evolve as you grow and change. What you needed 10 years ago may not be what you need today. This is why it's important to regularly reflect on your boundaries and adjust them as necessary. As you gain more confidence in yourself and your worth, you may find that you are able to set even firmer boundaries, creating an even greater sense of peace and balance in your life. This is a journey of self-discovery and self-empowerment, one that requires courage and commitment but yields incredible rewards. Boundaries are a form of self-care. They protect your energy, your time, and your peace, allowing you to show up as your best self in all areas of your life. They are not about keeping people out. They are about inviting the right people and the ones who respect and value you for who you are. When you hold firm to your boundaries, you create a space where you can thrive, free from the distractions and harm of those who do not have your best interests at heart. Your boundaries are your evil and manipulative people thrive in chaos and ambiguity. They rely on your uncertainty to create room for their schemes. They will muddy the waters, twist the facts, and use emotional tactics to keep you guessing about their intentions or the reality of a situation. The less clear you are, the more susceptible you are to their influence. But when you step back, remove emotion from the equation, and focus on the facts, you take away their greatest weapon. You no longer second-guess yourself or their behavior. Instead, you see patterns, connect dots, and recognize truths that were always there, waiting for you to notice. Clarity is not just about understanding others, it's about understanding yourself. It requires a willingness to look inward and ask hard questions. What do I truly value? What do I need to feel safe and supported? What behaviors am I willing to accept? And where do I draw the line? When you are clear about who you are and what you stand for, it becomes much harder for anyone to sway you or manipulate you into compromising your values. Your clarity becomes a solid foundation, one that cannot be shaken by external pressures. Achieving clarity often requires stepping back from the noise and giving yourself the space to reflect. This might mean taking a break from toxic relationships, distancing yourself from emotionally charged situations, or even seeking guidance from a trusted friend or professional. Clarity doesn't always come immediately. It's a process of peeling back layers and uncovering the truth beneath them. It requires patience, introspection, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable realities. But once you find it, the sense of relief and empowerment is undeniable. You no longer feel trapped or confused, you feel free. One of the most disarming aspects of clarity is that it leaves no room for manipulation. When someone tries to deceive you or twist your perception, your clarity allows you to see right through their tactics. You recognize their attempts to gaslight, guilt trip, or charm you, and you respond not with anger or fear, but with calm certainty. This throws manipulative people off balance because their usual strategies no longer work. They can sense that you are no longer under their control, and this realization often leaves them scrambling to regain the upper hand. But with clarity, you hold the power, and there is little they can do to take it back. Clarity also strengthens your ability to communicate effectively. When you are clear about what you want, need, or believe, you can articulate it with confidence and precision. This kind of communication is incredibly disarming because it leaves no room for misinterpretation or manipulation. For example, if someone tries to guilt you into doing something you are uncomfortable with, you can respond with a clear, firm, and respectful no that leaves no room for negotiation. Your clarity in expressing your boundaries not only protects you, but also signals to others that you are not someone who can be easily swayed. Another reason clarity is so powerful is that it helps you make better decisions. When you are unclear about a situation or person, it's easy to make choices based on emotion, fear, or pressure. But when you have clarity, you can approach decisions with logic and confidence, weighing the facts and considering the long-term consequences. This kind of decision-making is not only empowering, but also deeply disarming to those who hope to exploit your uncertainty. They can no longer rely on your indecision or vulnerability to influence your actions. Clarity is also a force for healing. When you gain clarity about a painful situation, whether it's a betrayal, a toxic relationship, or a pattern of manipulation, you can begin to process it and move forward. Clarity helps you let go of the false narratives you may have been holding on to, such as blaming yourself for someone else's actions or hoping that a harmful person will change. It allows you to see things as they are, not as you wish they were. This can be painful at first, but it's also liberating. With clarity, you can release the past and focus on building a future that aligns with your truth. Perhaps the most beautiful aspect of clarity is the peace it brings. When you are clear about who you are, what you want, and what you will no longer tolerate, you no longer feel the need to engage in battles that aren't worth fighting. You stop trying to prove your worth to people who don't value you or explain yourself to those who refuse to understand. Instead, you focus your energy on what truly matters: your growth, your happiness, and your purpose. Clarity simplifies your life, stripping away the distractions and leaving you with what is real and meaningful. In the end, clarity is not just disarming to others, it's empowering to you. It gives you the confidence to stand in your truth, the strength to enforce your boundaries, and the wisdom to navigate even the most. When life throws challenges your way, courage acts as a buffer against despair. It keeps your heart open to possibilities, even in the face of setbacks or failures. Courage is what compels you to keep trying, even after you've stumbled, and to seek joy and fulfillment, even when the world feels heavy. It protects your heart from becoming hardened or cynical by encouraging you to see difficulties as opportunities for growth. Each act of courage, no matter how small, strengthens your resilience and reminds you of your ability to endure. Courage is not only about the grand, dramatic gestures. It often shows up in the quiet, everyday moments. It's in the decision to forgive someone who has wronged you, not because they deserve it, but because your heart deserves peace. It's in the choice to walk away from a situation that no longer serves you, even when it's painful. It's in the willingness to face your own flaws and do the work necessary to grow. These small but significant acts of bravery protect your heart by nurturing its capacity for hope, love, and transformation. There are times when courage feels like a lonely path. You may find yourself standing up for what's right, even when others around you remain silent. You may need to speak your truth, knowing it might not be well received. These moments can feel isolating, but courage protects your heart by anchoring you in your values and reminding you of your inner strength. It allows you to move through the discomfort of being misunderstood or judged, confident in the knowledge that you are staying true to yourself. Courage also safeguards your heart by allowing you to accept the parts of yourself that you might otherwise try to hide. It takes bravery to embrace your imperfections, to confront the areas where you struggle, and to give yourself grace as you grow. Self-acceptance is one of the most powerful forms of protection, and it begins with the courage to look inward without fear or judgment. This internal bravery fosters a sense of wholeness that shields your heart from external criticism or negativity, creating a solid foundation of self-worth that cannot easily be shaken. At times, courage requires you to face situations you'd rather avoid, whether it's having a difficult conversation, making a tough decision, or taking a leap of faith. It's in these moments that courage truly protects your heart, not by making things easier, but by giving you the strength to endure whatever comes next. The heart, though vulnerable, is remarkably resilient, and courage is what enables you to tap into that resilience when you need it most. It allows you to process pain without being consumed by it, to acknowledge fear without being paralyzed by it, and to hope for the best even when preparing for the worst. In the journey of life, understanding the subtle behaviors of harmful individuals and cultivating the inner strength to navigate their challenges is essential. Awareness becomes your greatest ally, illuminating the truth and empowering you to see through manipulation. Boundaries stand as your shield, preserving your peace and ensuring you honor your worth. Clarity disarms deception, allowing you to discern with confidence and make choices aligned with your values. Courage, the silent protector of your heart, gives you the strength to stand firm, embrace vulnerability, and grow through every challenge. Each of these qualities, awareness, boundaries, clarity, and courage, works in harmony to protect your well-being and nurture your resilience. They remind you that you have the power to choose how you engage with the world and whom you allow into your space. Though the actions of others may sometimes bring uncertainty or pain, your inner strength is your guide. By cultivating these attributes, you create a life rooted in self-respect, purpose, and unwavering authenticity. You don't just survive, you thrive, standing strong in the face of any challenge, knowing you are equipped to protect your peace and walk confidently in your truth.